Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Jordan is officially proposing measures to defund lawfare activities of the Trump prosecutors in a new proposed appropriations package. Yes, let's all give Jim Jordan a round of applause for coming in just in time to make a huge difference in these cases against Donald Trump. Oh, wait. Trump's appeal to disqualify Fani Willis from his Georgia case is coming up in October, and Fani Willis will almost certainly be given the boot. E. Jean Carroll has successfully grifted $83 million from Trump, and this case is also headed for appeal, another one Donald Trump will almost certainly win. The classified documents case against Trump, brought by Jack Smith, has been indefinitely postponed by Judge Eileen Cannon. Letitia James and Judge Engoron successfully slapped Trump with a $500 million fine in his Trump Organization fraud case. Oh yeah, and I forgot, Donald Trump just last week was found guilty in a rigged trial that was presided over by a judge whose daughter runs a company raising money for prominent Democrats. So tell me, Jim Jordan, why are you just doing this now? It couldn't possibly be to grift some political brownie points from the wake of all these political trials after the fact, could it? No, absolutely not. No, but in all honesty, I do like Jim Jordan, all right, but his timing here is a little bit odd because, as you can see, he is pretty late to the party. But here are the proposals that were tweeted out by the House Judiciary Committee, and there are some good things here, I'm not gonna lie. And also definitely not included in this is money for a new FBI headquarters, which is good. But these proposals, while they never really actually name Fani Willis, Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, you'll notice that the language really makes it clear what he is referencing here. So first of all, we have the prohibition on use of funds. None of the funds made available by this act or any other act shall be used or transferred to another federal agency, board, or commission to be used to fund award grants to an organization that is under investigation for any misuse of federal funds. So Fani Willis, her office, is under investigation for misuse of federal funds. So that means that she wouldn't be able to get any money under these provisions. And then we have prohibition on use of funds. None of the funds made available by this act or any other act for any grant program carried out by the Department of Justice may be used to fund a criminal prosecution against a former or current president or vice president. So, of course, this is referring to Donald Trump, but I guess this could also mean, Joe Biden. So we can't use any of this money to prosecute Joe Biden. But I mean, like I said before, Donald Trump's trial in New York is already over. He's already been convicted. So what? We're getting pretty close to the election. It's a little late, Jim Jordan. This is why I'm frustrated with this. I believe this is kind of a political thing that he's doing here. But he continues, this prohibition on the use of funds shall also apply to the use of funds to consult, advise, direct state prosecutors and state attorneys general engaged in a civil action or a criminal prosecution of a former or current president or vice president. This prohibition on the use of funds shall also apply to funds received and reallocated by any state or local jurisdiction. But they also have provisions for countering lawfare directly. And once again, we have prohibitions on use of funds that are made available by this act or any other act shall be used or transferred to another federal agency, board, or commission to be used to consult, advise, or direct state prosecutors, state attorneys general in the civil action or criminal prosecution of a former, current president or vice president brought against them in state court. So as you can see, a lot of these are very similar, but they're using language to directly kind of go after everything that Donald Trump has already experienced. This is what I'm saying. Like, all of these trials that Donald Trump has gone through are kind of winding down. And the biggest one so far is his trial last week, where he is now labeled by the Democrats after a rigged trial. He is being labeled by the Democrats as a convicted felon. Yes. And just now, Jim Jordan is doing this, which is interesting, but whatever. I guess it's good. But this is not all, because Jim Jordan has called both Alvin Bragg and Matthew Colangelo to testify before Congress on June the 13th. Now, most of you know who Alvin Bragg is. He is the district attorney whose office prosecuted the hush money case against Donald Trump, which resulted in a guilty verdict. But lesser known probably is Matthew Colangelo, who was the prosecutor who gave the opening arguments in the Trump hush money trial. And he is also the former deputy assistant to President Obama, as well as the former acting associate attorney general for President Biden. Now, I believe that the investigations must be made, but I also find this wording that Jim Jordan used here pretty hilarious. He says, Matthew B. Colangelo, dear Mr. Colangelo, we write to respectfully request your testimony at a hearing before the Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government of the Committee on the Judiciary, long name, titled Hearing on the Weaponization of the Federal Government on June 13th, 2024 at 10 o'clock a.m. in room 2141 of the Rayburn House office building. So I find that kind of funny. Jim Jordan respectfully requests, I believe this should be a subpoena. This was a rigged, politically motivated trial against Donald Trump, and Jim Jordan is respectfully requesting. Now, I have a question for you. Were the Democrats respectful when they generated this show trial, and now they use it as fodder to attack President Trump and label him a convicted felon? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think that's very respectful. But, I believe that Jim Jordan, I think he's doing the right thing here, but I just think that Republicans need to assert their authority a little bit more, considering the extreme lengths that the left goes to in order to attack a political opponent. But what do you guys think about this? What do you think about Jim Jordan trying to go after this weaponization of the DOJ? And what do you think about the fact that it does seem a little bit late? And what do you think about the fact that the House Judiciary Committee, led by Jim Jordan, will be hearing the testimony of DA Alvin Bragg of New York and Matthew Colangelo, this prosecutor that has ties to the Obama and Biden administration? What do you think is going to come out of all this? I'm excited to see this. I might even live stream it. So on what is this? June the 13th, I might live stream that testimony or that hearing, because that will be, I think, a very interesting one. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.